This is a stimulus update and daily news report. A new study came out saying that the Build Back Better plan will cut taxes for nearly all households next year. When it comes to the Build Back Better plan, Mitch McConnell is saying that Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema are going to write the final version of the Build Back Better bill with all the stimulus provisions in it. I'm going to play a video clip from President Biden at his cabinet meeting giving an update on the reconciliation bill and the infrastructure package. Also, one state is giving out $2,000 stimulus checks. I'll let you know which state that is. I'm going to give you a stimulus check update as well, and I'll give you some other more important updates. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So, Senate passes spending bill with bonuses up to $2,000 for Massachusetts essential workers. This is huge, $2,000 for essential workers. So, what's going on here is the Senate Wednesday night unanimously approved $3.82 billion package that aims to spend billions in federal dollars from the American Rescue Plan. So, as a result of this, they're going to give out bonuses from $500 million, and it's not really saying exactly how much each person gets and where, but all it's saying here is eligible workers must have worked in person during the state of emergency that began on March 10th, 2020 and lasted for more than a year. Their household income must not be more than 300% of the federal poverty level. So if those qualifications are met and you live in Massachusetts, then I guess you could get up to a $2,000 check for essential workers. Let me know, should more states do this type of program? Should this be on a federal level? What do you think about $2,000? Speaking about $2,000, the $2,000 per month to every American petition at change.org, currently at 2,956,000 signatures, and still no fourth stimulus check being worked into that Build Back Better bill. Actually, the opposite is happening. They're cutting out more and more of it, seems like, every day. When it comes to the Build Back Better bill, which is that reconciliation bill with all the stimulus provisions in it, Build Back Better would cut taxes for nearly all households next year, according to a new report. So what it's saying here is that the report from Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center, TPC, finds that when taking individual tax and payroll changes into account, the bottom 80% of households would save between $700 to $830 on their tax bills next year on average. So let me know, is that a good number, $700 to $830 because of this? Bottom 80%, I would say it's most of the country, not even, probably upper middle class, slight middle class included in there as well. Is this a good thing, bad thing? Let me know your thoughts on that. Here is a quick update from a video clip talking about the Build Back Better package, the infrastructure package, everything that's going on here.
President Biden set to sign a massive infrastructure package into law on Monday. Today, the president doubled down on his promise that it will help slow down skyrocketing inflation that has raised consumer prices on just about everything for Americans.
If we do it right, we know what it will mean. We know what it will mean. It will create millions of new jobs, will grow the economy, and will win the world economic competition. And we'll see ease, and I say yes, ease, lower inflationary pressures on our economy.
Just this week, the Labor Department reported the U.S. had its biggest surge in inflation since 1990. CNBC's senior White House correspondent Kayla Tausche now. Kayla, what do economists think about President Biden's prediction?
Well, Kelly, President Biden frequently cites financial experts at Moody's and Goldman Sachs who support his policy agenda. The 60 economists who have said the infrastructure and social packages will create jobs and spur growth. And then there's the group of 17 Nobel laureates who say they will ensure growth in the future, writing, quote, because the agenda invests in long-term economic capacity and will enhance the ability of more Americans to participate productively in the economy, it will ease longer-term inflationary pressures. But that's in the long term. The administration has been eyeing action soon to release more oil from the emergency reserves and relieve pressure on gas prices at the pump, which are up some 60% since last year. But that won't happen before Americans hit the road for Thanksgiving travel. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve says it takes 13 days from a presidential order for any of its oil to hit the market. Today, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, back at the podium after recovering from COVID, acknowledged there's not much they can do to combat sticker shock on consumer goods like clothes and food, but the spending packages can help in other areas.
Some of the biggest costs for households and Americans, and the way they feel inflation is not typically looking at a graph, right? They're looking at the costs and how things are impacting them, are things like housing and childcare and healthcare.
In a cabinet meeting this afternoon, the president said he would appoint an infrastructure czar to distribute the $1 trillion in funding for the bipartisan infrastructure bill so it hits accounts sooner and speeds up supply chain issues that are also driving up inflation. He'll sign that bill Monday afternoon, but it will still take months and in some cases years for those projects to get underway, Kelly.
Sure. Kayla, while we have you, it's also now official that the president is set to meet virtually with Chinese President Xi. Is that right?
That's right, Kelly. That call will take place Monday evening. The White House says it will place what it's calling guardrails around the relationship so that the two superpowers can cooperate and compete without confrontation.
The video clip showed a short clip of President Biden speaking. I'm actually going to play you the full clip of what President Biden had to say from his cabinet meeting later on. But first, Mitch McConnell won't go to the signing ceremony for infrastructure bill. What he's saying here is, no, I've got other things I've got to do other than go to a signing ceremony. So remember, Mitch McConnell did vote for that infrastructure bill, the same bill that when the Republican House representatives voted for it, a lot of them got death threats. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell is the one who kind of started this. He voted for it. I guess he sort of supports it. He just doesn't want to go to the ceremony. I think he kind of regrets what he did, getting all the backlash from the Republican Party. Also, Mitch McConnell says that the final version of the Democrats' Build Back Better bill will be written by Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. So what's here is McConnell said the final version of the Build Back Better bill would be written by Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. He also defended the infrastructure bill, saying Republicans had separated sugar from the spinach, and the single biggest favor he could do for the country would be to defeat the whole thing, he said of Manchin. So the House, what he said also is the House bill will come over to Schumer, which is the majority leader, will offer a substitute, and the substitute will be written by Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. If there is no substitute, it would mean that neither of them got on board. So basically, looks like Mitch McConnell, well, he's not going to vote for it anyway, but he would want there to be a substitute literally written by Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. So really interesting perspective there. Let me know your thoughts on Mitch McConnell and the Build Back Better plan. Here is President Biden talking at his cabinet meeting, giving an infrastructure update, the reconciliation update, and everything else. Take a look at this.
Well, I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank Vice President Harris, who was on the line. I asked her to go to Paris to meet with President Macron, and to work on some things related to Libya and a few other things. And thanks, Madam Vice President, in a little while after this is over, maybe we can talk and see how things are going okay for you, all right?
I'd like that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. And we gathered my cabinet this afternoon at a moment of immense hope and possibility in our view for the United States. American people sent us here to deliver. The American people sent us here to make their government work, and they sent us here to make a difference in their lives. And I believe we're doing that. I believe that's just what we're doing. On Monday, I look forward to signing into law the Infrastructure Act, the Investment and Jobs Act, which we'll do outside, God willing, of the weather holding. And it's you know, it was a lot of hard work to get it done. I know it's probably hard work for all the press here to watch me try to get it done. But I want to thank them for acknowledging that this was a bipartisan bill, with bipartisan support, and proving we can still come together. It's hard, but we can still come together to get something big done for the American people. And the bill represents critical investments that are long overdue in our country. From rebuilding our roads and highways, to getting rid of lead pipes, delivering clean water to thousands of actually millions of people around the nation, to making high-speed internet accessible to every American, rural and urban, to fortifying our bridges and power lines and levees that stand up to the increasing threats posed by extreme weather and superstorms. We've $99 billion worth of losses just this year as a consequence of those environmental events. to fortifying our bridges, our power lines, as I said, and our levees, but also to one of our biggest responsibilities to make sure all the money is used efficiently and effectively. And I have a lot of experience in doing that. When I was vice president, I was given the responsibility of overseeing, as my now running the vets department, but as my former chief of staff of was saying here, Dennis can tell you, of implementing the Recovery Act, which was nearly $9 billion in stimulus package, $900 billion stimulus package. And in the process, I'm proud to say the president gave me the authority, which I will be signing as well, to use whatever assets the federal government had, any personnel in the federal government, and we put together a good team, because when we finished implementing the Recovery Act, it was determined that it had less than 0.2% waste or fraud, period. That's how I became known. The president started calling me Sheriff Joe, but from President Obama at the time. Because I made it a point every day to stay on top of how exactly the money was spent, what projects were being built, what projects were not being built, and how it was functioning. And it was one of the most efficient implementations of a major program in modern American history. Well, it is my intention to see to it that the act we just passed, that we're going to sign on Monday, meets the same standard. We owe it to the American people to make sure the money in this infrastructure plan and the Build Back Better plan, which God willing we're going to be able to still finish, will be able to be used for purposes it was intended. So that's what I want to talk to my cabinet about today, and the high obligation and responsibility that we all have to make sure this money is used wisely, used well, and used for the stated purposes for the American people. Because if we do it right, we know what it will mean. We know what it will mean. It will create millions of new jobs, it will grow the economy, and will win the world economic competition that we're engaged in the second quarter of the 21st century with China and many other countries around the world. And we'll see ease, and I say yes, ease, lower inflationary pressures on our economy. And we'll be carrying this out, what I call the blue-collar blueprint for America. One that builds the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, and one not from the top down. And so I want to thank you all for being here. That's what we're going to discuss today, and next week I'll have further announcements of exactly who's going to be put in charge of how we do this. So thank you all so very much.
So it looks like Monday is supposed to be the big day. Monday is when the signing of the infrastructure bill is going to happen. Monday is also the day that the House and Senate get back from their work period, vacation, whatever you want to call it, and then they can actually take action on the Build Back Better plan. We'll see what happens. Monday's supposed to be a big day. I don't think they're going to vote on it on Monday, but they'll probably just get the ball rolling, whatever that means. For the past 3 or 4 months, they've been trying to get the ball rolling, but I'll keep you updated on that. Hope you have an awesome weekend. To hopefully brighten your day a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I tell you the one thing that you should do. When you feel something and you don't really feel good, then be grateful what you have. Be thankful. Because the next day it might not be there. So that's what I wanted to say. True or false? Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. So personally, I'm going to go play some pickleball. It's one of my favorite activities in the world to do is play pickleball. So I'm going to play some pickleball this weekend and just have some family time. Going to have a friend visit, hang out. So yeah, hopefully you have a great weekend as well. If you want to check out any of my other videos, actually check out this video up here. It's my wife Christine on our new Wise Buys channel doing a product review of tea. The tea is called yerba mate. If you ever wanted an alternative to coffee, yerba mate, it's a tea. Definitely check out that video right there. She gives a whole update or explanation of all of that with the yerba mate tea. So check that out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.